Welcome back to the Cosmic Temple, Virgo Risings, and it is time for your love, luck, and money. So before we get into it, I'm going to apologize in advance. My turtle is acting a fool right now in his tank, and I don't know why. He just decided that tonight, on the night that I decide to record, that he is going to make all the noise. So if you hear something knocking around in the background that sounds like either rocks or wet chicken, that is probably him. And you know, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. But let's talk about your chart in particular for this Aries season, Virgo risings. Your chart ruler is Mercury, and it is sitting currently in your seventh house of Pisces. And because your Mercury is in Pisces, along with Mars, um, kind of not the best time for you, probably in your relationships. I think there may be a little bit of discourse, especially when it comes to communication, because Mercury was in retrograde, but now it is stationing direct. So there's a little bit of breathing room there. So things have probably been coming ahead, and things that probably should have been said a long time ago were coming out during Mercury retrograde. And you may not have been feeling the best about that expression, but now that you are moving into Mercury becoming direct, I feel like you're going to feel a little more comfortable with those words. A lot of times we have this saying, especially when it comes to astrology, that things that are said during Mercury retrograde tend to get taken back when Mercury goes direct. I don't feel like this might be the case for you, but if it is, let me know in the comments. If it's not, let me know in the comments. Mainly because you have that Mars sitting right next to your Mercury retrograde, or your not Mercury retrograde, but your Mercury, like we were saying before. Mars typically does not do the best in water signs unless it's Scorpio. And with this Mars being in Pisces, this is the Mars where it's really feeling deep in its feelings, and it's trying to do the things that it's supposed to be doing. However, it's a little too far deep in his feelings. I don't think Mars is particularly grumpy here. I believe that Mars is just lost because Pisces can be a very boundless sign. Pisces tends to be the sign of deep feels. It tends to be the sign where we just let our variables, our boundaries go. We don't want to like be contained here in uh, Pisces, but Mars likes to be very direct. You cannot be direct in Pisces because Pisces is a little flowing. You have to be more adaptable. You have to be a little more mutable. You have to be willing to change. And in most cases, Mars is not the changing type. So it might feel like a little bit of a discourse there, especially when it comes to your one-on-one relationships, whether that is romantic or otherwise. So just keep that in the back of your head as you're going through this Aries season. And also, with that being said, you have a lot of energy in your eighth house because the Sun, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury are all in your eighth house of Aries. So a lot of things happening behind the scenes for you, especially when it comes to getting support from other people. I think there are a lot of people that are around that will want to support you in whatever way you are trying to get support. And this could be in your one-on-one relationships, especially if you own a business. Um, but a lot of work has to be done. Not all of these planets are in the best shape to help you, even if they wanted to help you. But the biggest things that are the biggest messages, I should say, that are being said here are coming from Neptune and Saturn, which is you have this dream that you are trying to accomplish, but do you have the discipline to make that dream happen? And because the sun has just moved into Aries, this is going to be the beginning of a new deal for you. So take this energy and run with it because I think you're going to get more help than you expect during this time. And with that being said, let's get into our love, luck, and money. I am using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I normally use the African Goddess Rising deck here for my love, luck, and money readings, but it's on the other side of the room and I don't feel like getting it, and I've been doing the readings with the other previous signs, so we're just going to keep the party going. So also, while I'm doing the shuffling, don't forget, if you do like the content that I put out, don't forget to like and subscribe, share among your friends, especially anybody who likes astrology and tarot as much as you and I do. And let's get started. So I'm gonna put this here because these cards like to spread better on a softer surface. We're gonna do one card for each, one card for luck, one card for love, and one card for money. All right, interesting. So, love is the devil. Love is the devil. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Luck is the fool. And then money is the Six of Pentacles. So, the funny thing is, actually, we're going to go with money straight ahead because this is actually pertinent to what I just said with a lot of those planets being in the 8th house, and you're going to find a lot of support coming from that house from other people, because this is what the money card is. The money card is support, either from a person helping you or you helping that person. I feel like, especially because of all these planets in your 8th house, Virgo risings, that you are going to be the one that's being supported here. Now, the question is, as you're getting that support, are you going to be willing to pick yourself up and help others after you get this support? And I think that goes with what's happening, especially because in your 8th house, you also have Venus and the moon, who are not doing too well in this house. It's not a naturally good place for these two planets. These two planets tend to be a lot on what we call the moist, wet side. They like it a little bit cooler. Aries is not a cool and moist sign. It is a hot and dry sign. Aries are expansive. Aries are dynamic. Aries are direct. Aries likes to chase. Aries likes to move. The moon likes to move, but it doesn't like to move at the pace that Aries wants it to move. Venus does not like to move. Venus likes to sit and attract. Venus does not like to chase. So this Venus can be a very spicy Venus. It doesn't mean that she's not going to go for what she wants to or who she wants to. It's just that it's not a natural placement for her. So, same thing with Saturn. Saturn likes to be a little bit distant. Saturn likes to slow things down because Saturn is restrictive. Saturn is tempered. Aries is not. Aries is bountiful, is fast, is moving free, is moving however it wants to move. Why? Because it's the first in the zodiac. Aries is the one who is taking all the hits because it doesn't know what's ahead of it. The lessons that the rest of the zodiac learns comes from the mistakes that Aries makes. So, and I'll probably get into that in a later talk about just how Aries, because I just like being Aries and I am an Aries, so I have I don't want to say it's an understanding, but I have a different way of looking at Aries compared to how a lot of people look at Aries and Mars in particular. But with that being said, prepare to have some kind of support as you move through Aries season. And then also, that was money. Let's go back and look at love. And I think this is very pertinent, especially because you have Venus and the moon in Aries, which is the devil. And the devil is very much about the things that chain us down and hold us back. So think about addictions. Think about the thing where it's like, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be work, it could be, what's another addiction that could stand out here? I can't think of. Those are the big ones that usually come up to my head. And because we have Venus in Aries, this could be an addiction to other people. This could be addictions to women. This could be addictions to women in particular, because Venus and the moon are significators for women. So if you are somebody who might be attracted to women, so think about, this may be something where you might have to scale back just for a little bit, because you may be chasing the wrong type of person, or the wrong type of person may be trying to chase you. The biggest thing with the devil is that we see these things that look good and we want them around us all the time. That's another thing, especially with Venus. Venus is about luxury. Maybe you're chasing the luxury game. Maybe you're chasing these things that make you feel good, but aren't particularly good for you. And especially because it's right next to the moon. Are they in conjunction? I can't really tell. I think the moon is definitely separating. But, excuse me, my turtle. Anyways, with these things that make us feel good, that makes us want to chase luxury and the aesthetic, you got to be careful. And I think that's the thing that the devil is trying to tell you, especially when it comes to love. Because remember, love isn't always romantic. It could be platonic, it could be work, it could be the love that you have for your neighbor, the love that you have for your dog, the love that you have for your coworkers, if you have love for your coworkers. These are the things that hold you down, and they may not be supportive. They may just be keeping you there just to keep you there. So you want to be careful with love in this case. We talked about money. Let's talk about luck. Luck is the Fool. Luck here is actually very interesting because, again, we just moved into Aries. Aries is a new beginning. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. This is the beginning of the astrological new year. So you have a very new journey ahead of you. You have a big fresh start, especially when it comes to your luck. I think you're going to have a lot of luck here. There's a lot of things that are going to be helping you out, mainly because one of the most important things of when you look at the Fool, and this is just a little tarot lesson here, is that the Fool is always looking up, very optimistic. It doesn't realize it's about to walk off a ledge, but guess what? There is a little guide behind it, waiting and ready to help it along the way. The sun is out. The sun is, especially in tarot, the sun is always optimistic. The sun is always going to show you good things. So you have a lot of good, happy, lucky things that are getting ready to come to you, Virgo Risings. Just be willing to see it. Don't forget to always listen to your guides. Don't chase the things that are going to hold you in place, because you have a new journey ahead of you. So, and don't forget also, don't be afraid to get support when you need it. Okay? So with that being said, this is your love, luck, and money reading, Virgo Risings. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if this resonated for you, or if you see some of these things happening as you go through Aries season. Remember, you can always get a reading from me. Check the link in the description for my Etsy store. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.